was 26%. Today it is 37%. Prevalence of diarrhea among children was 9%. Now it's 3.6%. I can give more data, but it is available in that table. The welfare of SC and ST communities is paramount. 45% of the total budget expenditure of Chhattisgarh is on the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe communities. Out of 9,22,346 claims under the Forest Rights Act, 4,91,805 claims were accepted and land titles were distributed. Contrast with what happened in the BJP government. One half of the claims were rejected, arbitrarily rejected. Today, out of 9,22,000 claims, we have accepted 4,91,000. The others are in process. The number of minor forest produce purchased was increased from 7 to 67. The MSP for tendu leaves was increased from 2,500 rupees to 4,000 rupees per standard bag. Per capita income, which is a measure of prosperity, was 88,793 rupees in 2018. Today, it is 1,33,897 rupees. It is increased by 50,000 rupees per person, per capita. According to a Niti Aayog report of the Government of India, 40 lakh people have come out of poverty in the last 5 years. This is the Government of India's number. The increase in prosperity is visible on the faces of the people, especially farmers. I shall conclude my opening statement with the promises made by the Congress party to the people of Chhattisgarh in the current election campaign. 1. Government will procure 20 quintals of paddy per acre. 2. Outstanding agricultural loans will be waived again. 3. The Congress government will conduct a caste census. 4. 17.5 lakh houses will be provided to families under the Mukhyamantri Awas Yojana. 17.5 lakh houses. 4,000 rupees will be given as annual incentive to tendu leaf collectors. Minor forest produce will get 10 rupees additional MSP. No fees in government schools and colleges from KG to PG, from kindergarten to postgraduate. Landless agricultural labor will get 10,000 rupees as annual financial assistance, as against 7,000. These announcements will be part of the Congress manifesto. I appeal to the people of Chhattisgarh to vote for the Congress party and its candidates on the hand symbol. We promise another 5 years of impressive economic growth, all-round prosperity, particularly at the agriculture sector and farmers, welfare of women and children, special initiatives for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe communities, focused attention to education and health, creation of jobs for the youth, and peace and security to all sections of the people. The slogan, I believe, is Chhattisgarhia sabse badhiya.
Yes.
I'm glad to say that slogan, and I hope that the people of Chhattisgarh will vote for the Congress party.
Very, very.
सर आपका मेरे तरफ से सवाल आमंत्रित है।
Yes, yes. I will translate.
जी पूछिए।
You can ask the question in Hindi or English.
आप हिंदी में भी सवाल कर सकते हैं सर, उसका जवाब दें। Magistrate who called this came in Adani. Magistrate wala called this came to Adani too.
Adani cold scams that Adani was getting cheap coal and selling it at a higher cost.
I don't know the details. All I know is there are reports apparently prepared by one of the agencies of the government and widely reported in the newspapers. The Congress party's position, you know, is that there should be an inquiry. Unless there is an inquiry into these matters, we cannot say whether it's correct or not. So the Congress party's position is there should be an inquiry. I'm sure you will also agree there should be an inquiry.
अभिषेक जी एक मिनट अभिषेक जी
Secularism is something different.
Caste census is only counting the castes. We should know how many people belong to the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, OBC, MBC. Without data, we are making reservations. How can you make reservation without data? If you support reservation, you should also support caste counting. How can there be reservation without caste census? Even for economically weaker sections, reservation of 10%. You must count first before you can reserve. We count tigers, we count elephants. Why can't we count so that we can make reservations? If you support reservation, you have to support a caste census.
राहुल जी अडानी का विरोध करते हैं सही, लेकिन कौन से उद्योगपति को आना चाहिए वो नहीं बताते। सिर्फ अडानी विरोध करते, कौन से उद्योगपति को लेकर करना चाहिए?
What does the issue come from?
I don't want to take the name of any individual industrialist. In a truly competitive market economy, there will be many, many people who will come up. I'll tell you a story. In 1991, hardly anybody had heard of N.R. Narayana Murthy or Aziz Premji. Where did they come up from? Therefore, in a truly market economy, in a truly competitive economy, many, many people will come up. And you will find people coming up from Chhattisgarh also. Who built two of India's finest airports, Mumbai and Delhi. I'm sure nobody had ever heard of GMR and GVR before that. When we gave the contract to GMR and GVR, they said, who's GMR? Who's GVR? But they have built the finest airports in India and among the best in the world. In a truly market economy, it is not dependent on any one industrialist. Hundreds will come up And I'm looking forward to the day when a big industrialist will come up from Chhattisgarh.
Ankit ji,
As you said, sir, as you said that this government is again going to wake up the low of the farm, and BJP is saying that if it's really the case, the government has to work on farmers, then what is the need of doing it again?
Agriculture must be profitable if it has to be sustainable. As I just told you, the bulk of the citizens of Chhattisgarh are farmers. It's not so in some other state. 32% of the state's GDP comes from farming. As long as such a large proportion is in farming, and studies show that farmers incur debts, it's only when rapid industrialization takes place, rapid services sector, and agriculture becomes a small proportion of the GDP, you can think of other alternatives. But as long as agriculture is the mainstay of Chhattisgarh, if 32% of the GDP is coming from agriculture, farmers must be given relief from time to time. Relief was given to them 5 years ago. If the Congress party's assessment is they are still burdened with debt, and therefore they have promised one more time of agricultural waiver.
जी अनिल जी.
Chidambaram sir, the Congress party is running on the assembly election or coming to power. Then Rahul Gandhi is in Chhattisgarh, and they had a dozen of promise to common people or voters. The BJP is calling this is against the senior citizen quota. BJP has closed the senior citizen quota of railway, and they is calling for this freebies giving to Congress to common people. How to react to you as the expert of finance expert?
What is the second part?
Second part को फिर बोलिए
calling them
आप.
freebies.
No, you said something about senior citizens has been cancelled. After that you said something.
BJP has closed the senior citizens
Yes.
on railway, and BJP is calling it this is a freebies by the Congress party to common people.
You see,
How can you expert this?
as far as the Honorable Prime Minister is concerned, if he gives anything free, that is an incentive. If any other party announces anything free, it is a reverie. Or it is a, what is that called? Reverie. Reverie.
रेवड़ी रेवड़ी.
The point is, BJP has also copied many of these announcements in the states ruled by them. Please understand, subsidies and allowances are an integral part of financial management. When Mr. Modi gives or promises to give gas cylinders, is that not a reverie? So I don't think you should take those statements seriously. As long as a subsidy as long as a subsidy is a merit subsidy, a merit subsidy is justifiable. Many subsidies are merit subsidies. Many allowances are merit allowances. We can take each one and debate it. Whatever the Congress has announced, I would call them merit subsidies. Sorry, I've got a bad throat, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity of visiting Raipur.
बाबू जी.
The good policies, those who want to
See, these are state elections. We are talking about what the state requires. What is required in Chhattisgarh may not be required in Tamil Nadu, may not be required in some other state. We are talking about the state's problems, the problems of this state, what the people of this state require. We are satisfied that this state requires another agricultural loan waiver. Therefore, it is being implemented here. If some other states assesses and comes to the conclusion that agricultural loan waiver must be done in that state, they will do it. So there's no one model which will apply all over India. The only person who believes that one model, one ration card, one election, one this, one that is Mr. Narendra Modi. I don't believe that. Each state is a unique situation. Each state requires different solutions, and what we have promised is what the state of Chhattisgarh requires.
जी अनुज जी
सर आप गृह मंत्री थे, केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री, तो आपने इसी रायपुर में आके तीन राज्यों के मुख्यमंत्रियों की बैठक की थी नक्सलवाद के खिलाफ ज्वाइंट ऑपरेशन चलाने के लिए। इसमें छत्तीसगढ़ के मुख्यमंत्री थे, ओडिशा के मुख्यमंत्री थे और आंध्र प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री थे। पहल को अच्छी पहल कहा गया था, लेकिन आज तक नक्सली समस्या जो है इसका निराकरण क्या हो सकता है?
You see, I remember my visits to Raipur. I'm glad that you are agreeing that when the Manmohan Singh government was there, we worked with the state governments and considerably reduced the Naxalite violence. But in the last 5 years, Naxalite violence has further reduced. The government here in Chhattisgarh is Mr. Baghel's government. Therefore, if violence has reduced in Chhattisgarh, a major part of the credit must go to the Baghel government. See, on tackling Naxalism, there is no party, this party or that party. It's a major problem of the nation. We cannot look at, from a party point of view, fighting Naxalites. If the Congress party is in power in Delhi, we will continue to fight Naxalism and try to reduce the influence of Naxals.
सत्य प्रकाश जी
कांग्रेस के भी राष्ट्रीय नेता आ रहे हैं, भाजपा के भी राष्ट्रीय नेता आ रहे हैं, लेकिन आप लोग लगातार घोषणाएं कर रहे हैं और वो अपने घोषणा पत्र का इंतजार कर रहे हैं, कह रहे हैं कि अभी घोषणा पत्र का
What is saying? Most of the leaders from BJP they are waiting that what declaration will make, then they will make it. And you every day make it.
See, one student writes an exam, the next student copies from that paper.
Wonderful.
बीजेपी पास हो जाएगी कॉपी करके
Copy
The
is a copy.
person who writes the exam well will pass. The person who writes the exam first will pass. He writes the exam well. I believe we are writing a good exam. I have already announced 8 matters which will be included in the manifesto.
जी जी बताइए
पिछले समय घोषणा पत्र में आप लोगों ने जारी किया था बसपा का आरोप है कि वादा पूरा नहीं हुआ। इस समय घोषणा पत्र जारी होगा क्या वो
95%.
मैनिफेस्टो के वादे
Whatever promises made did not
See.
complete, almost 95%.
I am not able to answer that question to the last percentage. The best person to answer that is Mr. Baghel. But I am told by my friends 95% of the promises made in the last election have been fulfilled.
That's why we are asking for another.
थैंक यू धन्यवाद आपका
Thank you very much. You will get a copy of the statement and the table in English and Hindi.
Listening, you is always a
हाँ जी प्लीज